Welcome to the Better Workday Podcast with your host, Niamh Moynihan. With the rise of artificial intelligence in nearly every industry, there's a lot of buzz about including AI tools in our day-to-day work. But for many, it still feels like a big, intimidating leap. Niamh, how can we start integrating AI into our workday in a way that genuinely improves productivity without adding extra stress?
Hello, and welcome back to the Better Workday Podcast. How are you doing? As I'm recording this, we are facing into the last few days before return to school, preschool, creche, and normality. For me, it's actually been a brilliant summer. We've had quite a few weekends away as a family and some kid-free weekends as well, which has been really nice. The highlight for me so far has to be seeing Kylie Minogue live at Electric Picnic. I had her bicycle shorts when I was 7. I sang along to the locomotion, and I'm not going to lie, I shed a tear or two of joy, and it was just fantastic. So whether you have stayed at home, gone abroad, or done a little bit of both, I hope that you have found some moments of joy over the last few months. Now today, I want to talk about something which can create joy in your workday, and that is AI. I think this topic has been on everyone's mind lately for good reason. And I want to discuss how to confidently use AI in your workday without letting it take over your entire life. Because spoiler alert, I definitely went over the top OTT at the start and it did derail my working day. So now we're going to be talking about how to use it to support you as opposed to stress you. Me and you both know AI is everywhere these days. A recent report showed me that 75% of knowledge workers are already using AI at work, with a lot of people starting in the last 6 months. But I think that with all of this buzz, hype and conversation around AI, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. So today, we're going to talk about how to integrate AI into your workday in a way that enhances your productivity rather than becoming another source of procrastination. Now, by the end of this episode, I want you to feel more confident about how to start using AI in your day-to-day work. And we're going to cover 3 simple steps. So we're going to keep it easy. First of all, clarifying what you need help with, then choosing the right tools, and finally embracing a learning mindset. Are we ready? Let's get started. First things first, before you start on your AI journey or before you restart on your AI journey, it's important to figure out exactly what you need help with. I know this sounds obvious, but honestly, it is so tempting to jump in and start exploring all the shiny new tools out there. I am a tech lover, I am a gadget geek, I am a data nerd, I love all of the new things, and I must have tried, I'd say 15, 20, maybe more actually, different AI tools at the start just to explore because they were all so interesting. And I wasted hours and hours and hours. So trust me, I've already made that mistake. You will get much more value from AI if you start with a clear purpose in mind. It's just like anything else. So here's a little exercise for you. I want you to think about your workday, a typical workday. What tasks you do day to day or week to week. Of those tasks, what ones do you excel at? And which ones do you try to avoid or find yourself putting off to the next day? So maybe you're really good at creating presentations, but you struggle with summarizing reports. Or maybe you spend too much time sorting through emails or catching up on meetings. This is where the old classic SWOT framework can be incredibly useful. I use the SWOT for pretty much everything, and here we are again using it for AI. A quick recap for you. SWOT is an acronym. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you begin by identifying your strengths. So these are tasks you're already good at, and weaknesses, they're areas that, you could use some help with. So once you know that, look for opportunities where AI could enhance your workflow. For example, could AI help you automate some repetitive tasks? And then finally, consider any potential threats. A threat could be relying too heavily on AI for certain tasks or concerns about data privacy. And then by clarifying your needs, you can focus on the areas where AI will make the most impact without overwhelming you. And here's a good idea. Create a separate list for daily, weekly and monthly tasks. because this will help you prioritize where AI could be most effective. Remember, just because AI can do something, it doesn't mean it should. So you should focus on where it can provide the most value and you can build from there. A real life example from me in terms of this podcast. A strength of mine is coming up with the ideas for the podcast, getting all those ideas out on a big flip chart. I use sticky notes, I use all the markers, I have all the ideas. But I sometimes struggle with structure. So what I do is I take all of my ideas and I put them all into a big document, and it's a little bit all over the place. And I give it to AI and I say, please create a structure for this. And AI orders it for me. It's a small part of the process, but it saves me, I'd say, a good hour or two. And not only does it save me time, it helps improve the quality of the podcast. And that's me using AI to support me as opposed to drive it. So there you go. Once you've clarified your needs, it's time to choose the right tools. And this can feel daunting because, let's face it, there are hundreds of AI tools out there. And as I said already, I have tried loads of them. Here is the thing. You can start with the tools you already use. Most of the applications you're already using have added AI features in the last year or two. So for example, Microsoft 365. It now has tools like Copilot that can help summarize meetings and draft emails and do loads of other bits and pieces. I use Grammarly, that has AI. My CRM is HubSpot, that has AI. Nearly every tool I already had before I started using AI now has an AI element. So before you go downloading something new, explore what features are in your existing platforms. And don't forget to ask your colleagues and people from other teams about this, because they might have found features that you're not aware of. And look, if you do decide to try something new, don't feel pressured to find the perfect tool right away. So you can take advantage of a free trial or a demo version and test the tool on a specific job or task and see how it fits into your job. Does it save you time? Does it help you focus on what matters most? And if the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. And again, make sure to ask other people you work with if they've been trying these new tools, what they think of it, and that could save you an awful lot of time as well. Now, let's talk about mindset, because I think this is the most important step of all, embracing a learning or a growth mindset. AI is constantly evolving, and what works well today could be outdated by tomorrow. So to get the most out of tools like AI, you need to be open to continuous learning and experimenting. Making mistakes and being open to change. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try new things, even if they feel a bit intimidating at first. So for example, you might start using AI to draft emails or generate reports. And at first it might feel a bit strange to let a tool do part of your work. You might wonder, are you really working? But yes, you are, by the way. You are still working. Let's just clear that up. And then over time, you'll get more comfortable and you'll start seeing the benefits. Now, at this point, I have to jump in and have a chat with the managers. So if you are managing a team, it's really important that you allow space for learning, allow space for mistakes and retakes when it comes to learning how to use AI, and allowing the team to experiment with what areas of workflows or processes are supported best by the AI tools. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It is going to take time. There is going to be a learning overhead, and you have to allow for that when you're looking at other deadlines and other work. But of course, it's going to be well worth it. It's just like when a new hire comes onto the team. It takes a while for them to get up to speed and for everyone to integrate again. But once they're up and running, it's fantastic. And again, this also comes back, like I've said it already, this is my third time, collaborating with others. So you are going to probably have in your company or in your peer group a few AI power users. Find the power users, encourage them to have a conversation with you and with your team. Because when you team up with others, you can learn faster and get more out of the tools. And if there are people that enjoy it, let them lead the way. Let them show you the joy of learning in this area. Remember, please, this is not about mastering AI overnight. It's a new skill. I see an awful lot of posts about here are the 10 prompts to do this and here are the 10 prompts to do that. And it makes it look as if embracing AI should be super easy. But it's not. It's a whole change. As I've said already, you have to find out what work you want to get support from, what parts of that work are going to benefit most from AI, what tools you're going to use, how you're going to use them, how you're going to integrate it into the team. all of this. So it's a big shift. It's not without its hard work, but it's going to be worth it. So I don't want you to think you have to be an AI expert tomorrow. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards becoming more comfortable and more confident in using the tools. And whether it's spending 10 minutes a day experimenting with AI or learning from your peers, every step makes a difference. Now, before we wrap up, I want to address a common concern, which is AI overload. With all the tools and all the options available, it is easy to get caught up in the excitement, I've done it, and end up more distracted than productive. And again, the key here is to keep things simple. So here are our boundaries. Focus in the beginning on just one or two areas where AI can really make a difference in your workday. So going back to that plan I asked you to look at the start, or that list of all your tasks, you might have identified 6 or 7 or 8 areas where you can use AI. Please avoid the temptation to overhaul your entire workflow at once. I did it and I abandoned it pretty quickly because it was too much and it wasn't thought through and it didn't feel right. And I went back to using AI in smaller pieces, which, by the way, is now really effective. Technology should be your aid, your assistant. It should simplify and support your work, not make it more complicated. So please, 1 or 2 areas is enough to focus on. And most importantly, remember that you're in control. AI is a tool, okay? It's going to work for you, not the other way around. So start small, focus on what matters most. And if you want to take a break for a little while, take a break and set a reminder in your calendar to come back in a week or in a month to pick it up again. So there you are, 3 steps and a little bit of a chat to confidently add AI to your workday. Step 1 is to clarify what you need help with. And remember, we don't need help with everything all at once. Then choose the right tools and don't forget that you might actually have those tools already. And finally, embrace that learning or that growth mindset. By following these steps, I hope that you will find AI as a powerful tool to help you create a better workday. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found it helpful. Please share this with a colleague or a friend who might benefit. And until next time, stay well and have a better workday.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. The Better Workday podcast is about helping you have a better workday. So we'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. You can find our social media details as well as any references from this episode in the show notes.